All right, everyone. We just got to hit go live here on Instagram because there's an extra step with Instagram. There it is on Instagram. Back to the studio. All right, everyone. This is Nerd Camp Sports live from StreamYard. Tonight, we are streaming on Facebook. We are streaming on my Honest Hour page and my personal Instagram until I get those things rearranged and figure out fully how this works. And we're here to talk R&B. Glad our new guest, our new host rather, as I should say, in the fold. Good to see you in the flesh. We missed you last week. Well, how you guys doing this evening?
Doing good, man.
Doing good, man. Just ready to talk sports, man. It's been an incredible weekend, so let's
All
get
right.
it.
So tonight we know the NBA starts tomorrow, so we're gonna start with the NFL. And there was a lot that happened yesterday. A lot. And I want to start with something that bothered me personally. And I made a video about this. And, we never like to see players get hurt. We never like to see players get injured. And yesterday, Deshaun Watson ruptured his Achilles on a non-contact play. And the fans cheered. Now, I did say in my video that the same thing I just said is we don't ever want to see anyone get hurt. But for the team, this might have been the best thing that could happen. The same thing I just said is we don't ever want to see anyone get hurt. But for the team, Oh. So that's just the thing. But for these fans, and we know Cleveland fans are some of the best fans in the world, right? Like, let's be honest. Their team went 1-31 over the course of 2 seasons. They had a parade for going 0-16 during that. These dudes is loyal. They are loyal fans. They are loyal people, right? So, for them to stand up there and cheer that someone got hurt, a guy that he's had his issues. There's no saying that he hasn't. There's been controversies. We joke about the massages and we joke about this and that. But at the end of the day, listen, he's human, right? He's gonna make mistakes just like 3 of us on this panel, just like everyone else in this world, right? So,
correct.
Fans to sit there and cheer, like you're cheering like as if whoever comes in is going to help you play better to where you're going to get back into this thing, right? Like, it's not like, okay, like, it's not like you have 2 options at quarterback, right? Like, you look at the Steelers, for example. You got 2 guys, right? And it's not like if one goes down because Tomlin won't go to the other, you have a chance at that guy doing better. No, you don't. You got no one back there. I mean, even though Jameis Winston has proven himself, ultimately at 1-6, what are we really expecting? I think it was disgusting. I think it was downright disrespectful, wrong, and that whole fan base in that building should be ashamed of themselves. Now, if you're happy that there was something that got him out, if you wanted him out, I don't have an issue with that. Like, but to be happy, like per se to cheer, all I can say is I wish him a healthy recovery, and you both can elaborate on it. But at the end of that elaboration, I want you to answer this question: is Deshaun Watson done in the NFL? You can answer that first and elaborate whatever's more comfortable for you guys.
That's a hell of a question. Go ahead. Yeah. That's a hell of a question, man. Because the last time we were all on, week before last, I had a little soliloquy about Deshaun Watson. Man, I'll be honest. I think he done. I think he's done. You know, to everything that he's been through, you know what I'm saying, leading up to now, and now to have your Achilles rupture like that, he's already had a lot to come back from, character wise, and then the injuries that he went through during that time. And now this, like that's just a bit much, man. And I just, he's still young. I'm not saying that he, won't be able to maybe be a backup on someone's team at some point if they're willing to bring him in to give him a shot or whatever the case may be. But as far as him being the Deshaun Watson that we all knew and loved from Houston, yeah, it's done. It's over with. I was holding out hope, but I think this was the final blow. As far as the fans booing him and everything yesterday, man, yeah, like that, it was classless. It's nothing worse than pouring on a man when he already down. That's just one of the most fucked up things you can do. You know what I'm saying? Like this, and then it did this the thing about it too that I don't think a lot of people really paid attention to. They were in Cleveland. If they were on the road, it would still be classless, but at least I could say, well, at least it's the he on the road, he's the opposing team or whatever. But your own people, do you like this? Everybody that been cheering you through all these rape or sexual misconduct allegations and everything like that, they've been cheering you because they thought that the $230 million man was gonna come in there and go crazy. You know what I'm saying? And because that it just goes back to show you where we still are in this country as black people. And just to go there for a second, if he would have been the $230 million black Superman savior, none of this would have happened yesterday. But because even with all of the allegations and stuff, none of this would have happened. But because he has not lived up to the expectations of the man, then boo when you get hurt. Yeah, get him up out of here. Get him up out of here. We don't like this rapist. He's no Big Ben. You know what I'm saying? He can't get the allegations and still perform. So that's how I felt about it, man.
Raj, how you feel about this situation at hand?
Man, I ditto the same thing, that R&B was saying, because it's so funny how athletes are treated almost like gladiators, in a Roman Coliseum. And it's like it's almost ironic because this is a gladiator sport, it's a barbaric sport, but then you have situations where a freak accident or a freak injury happens, and it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction for somebody to go out there and laugh or to cheer, to say, yeah, we got him, oh, he's injured, right? But in reality, he's human. He's dealing with a lot mentally, physically, emotionally at this time. But it just goes to show you once again that people can actually go there. And it's so funny because, like you just mentioned, then Big Ben, he had allegations. Brett Favre, this guy's he's been doing a lot of crappy stuff since the beginning of his career. You know what I'm saying? But yet
all of it.
Huh?
And got away with all of it.
Mm-hmm.
At least to this point.
He got away with everything. And I hate to bring it here, but I have to put things in perspective. It's almost like the complexion for protection. And Deshaun Watson, before the injury, was one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. You know what I'm saying? I mean, before the allegation, before the allegation was one of the top.
Maybe even 5.
Yeah, arguably top 5.
I would definitely say top 5. No argument.
Arguably top 5. And some people's list top 3, depending on who you talk to. But what I will say is, when the allegations came in, a lot of that stuff played, mentally on his brain. It played a toll on his brain, and he had to make a decision. What is he going to do? But what I will say on a bright side of this whole situation is that he got paid, and I know he wants to play football. I know he's a competitor. I know he's out there working hard every single day. But look on the bright side. He's going to get guaranteed money. Jameis Winston is going to step into a role where he could be the franchise quarterback for at least a couple of years. And on top of that, the distraction of every time he goes to snap the ball, they're talking about what he's done in the past. Like it to me, it's disgusting. I'm not a fan of that. Like I know we get on the show, we joke about the massage tables and massage parlors and stuff like that. I'm like, we gotta send masseuses out there, and that's all.
Uh-oh.
Froze on us here. Hold on. Oh. Let's see. What's this do?
Having some technical difficulties.
Yeah. On his end there. Might have to remove him from the stage and just tell him to rejoin. So just yeah. Just like uh-oh. Instead it went out. Copy. All right. Let's see if that'll work. But yeah, no, it's disgusting. All right. Add his camera.
I was fidgeting with this thing, trying to get it in the right position.
trying to get the microphone right.
Yeah. Pause. So no.
Oh yeah. Oh, did he? Oh man. Jesus. Well, at least the only good thing about this week is at least we didn't have to watch the Cowboys.
To be honest, I could have used some of that good laughter and entertainment.
Oh gosh. Cowboys, I mean, Lord.
Even better, we ain't have to hear First Take talk about them for an hour and a half while they try to put 10 other subjects into the other 30 minutes.
And then on top of that, it's just like, all right, I'm looking at the what you call it? I'm looking at it, and I'm like, next week they play the Niners on Sunday night. That's supposed to be like.
I think they flexed it. Didn't one of y'all say they flexed it earlier?
But I think that's week 9 game. Next week is week 8, I believe.
Damn.
Yeah, I think
for sure.
Next week's week 8.
That just ruined that.
Yeah, next week, the Vikings and Rams on Thursday. Yeah, Cowboys and 49ers. 8:20. It's gonna be awful.
I think the Vikings and Rams could potentially be. It could turn out to potentially be a decent game because I heard Cooper Kupp should be returning this week. Right. I still don't know how far away Puka is, but if Cooper can come in and make an impact this week, get Stafford somebody to throw to, it should maybe give us a little entertainment, or it could just be a blowout. I guess we just have to wait and see with that one.
Absolutely. All right, Rod, you're back in it. You can keep going, bro. We're just trying to mull over some combo before while you figured out or got back into it.
Okay. No problem. Well, just real quick, just to, put a bow on a conversation with Deshaun Watson, we just got to just think about himself, think about him as a man, you know what I'm saying, before we think about just him as the athlete. And I think it's important for us to always keep that in mind because they got families too, and at the end of the day, like I said, I think it was a classless thing to do that, but I also think it was kind of like a knee-jerk reaction type thing where it was like, they're so upset and they're so angry at what's going on with the franchise and them paying him this much money that I don't think they thought it 100% through. And you know what? Then again, they might have. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this has always been in the back of their mind. You know, but I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's unfortunate, but as far as his career, I think he's going to come back. I think a team is going to pick him up. You know, probably after a year, after this time, like a year or some change, and just give him a chance. Even if it's like a team like Panthers, you know, even if the Panthers give him a chance to, you know, be a starting quarterback or something, they're going to pay him. He's going to get at least one more payday because he's still relatively young.
Absolutely. Oh, I don't know what happened there.
Did R&B go out?
Yeah, yep. He looked like he was doing something. It says he's still here on the stage, but I made something with his camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says they need to connect their mic and camera. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting in a sense. Well, I guess you talk about a lighter topic till he comes back in.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it's not light, but you know, he could come in and add to this. Yesterday, you know, the Chiefs found a way to win that game. I can't say that they won it themselves, but they're 6-0.
Yep.
They're 6-0. I believe now they are the only undefeated team left in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis Kelce didn't do anything. Literally. You know, and I'm just like, you know, like we know the Niners are beat up. They don't have McCaffrey. They didn't have Debo. They lost Ayuk.
Yep. And by the way, Debo is now he has pneumonia in his lungs.
Hospitalized. It just came up here on my phone 2 minutes ago. But the thing is, like, you can't doubt this team still. Like they're not like, because the thing is, it's not like, how can I put this? Like, do they look like they're having that overhaul of dominance? No. But I think they're dominating in another way, because even though they're not blowing teams out and it's staying close, they're playing a different type of football. And I think we've come so accustomed to them doing what they do, is like people forget Pacheco's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Brown was supposed to be their deep threat. He got hurt, going to miss the whole regular season at minimum. Rice is hurt. So now you look at what's left, you know, you have 87, but it seems like he's planned for, or he just doesn't have something. Something's not right with him. I just don't know what's missing from him. But you know, it's definitely something that something different. And they've done what they've had to do. They've done what they've had to do to win games.
Mm-hmm.
And now you look at them at 6-0, and next week they play the Raiders. We gotta look at it for what it is. Regardless, this is still a scary team, and we know once mid-season comes, this is gonna be a whole nother team. And you know, these guys didn't have season-ending injuries outside of Hollywood Brown. Pacheco's gonna come back. Rashee Rice is gonna come back. Oh, and then Juju Smith-Schuster was hurt yesterday, I believe, too, with a hamstring.
He was.
So, you know, so I guess it's fair to say they were almost on like a level play. They were almost on like a level play.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs and the Niners, but I still believe that if you're finding ways to win when Mahomes only throws, I think he threw, I want to say like 154 or 214 yesterday.
Right. No, 154.
154. I knew it was 154 or something of that culmination, but he threw 154 yards. He didn't throw. He had a rushing touchdown and threw 2 picks, and you
2
still
picks, 1 rushing. Yep.
And you still won by 10. I don't know if I should be more concerned for them or more happy for them. It's one of those things where it can go either way. Those are the 2 ways to look at it. It's either like impressive that they're winning games with lackluster play, or it's scary that they're winning games with lackluster play. Like, it depends how you look at it.
Yeah.
I think it's scary. To be honest, I think it's scary because it's not like this is a team that's like, let's say Patrick Mahomes was a rookie and they, like if they was in Washington's position or something like that. This is a 2-time defending Super Bowl champion. It's at 6-0, and they quarterback not even playing nowhere near his regular best football. Not even like the Patrick Mahomes level shit, you know what I'm saying? He ain't even playing. His numbers are probably comparable to like a rookie or some shit right now. He playing. Right. So
yeah,
and they still managing to win games, and he's still managing to make the plays that he needs to make in order for him to win, even with his bad play. And my apologies, fellas, I had to change my headset, as you can see. The other one had died.
You're good. We just was like, what happened? I seen you looking for something.
I thought it was an issue I had.
No, you was talking and this thing. I know I couldn't hear nothing, and I'm like, damn headset.
It's all good. Yeah. Well, go ahead,
real quick. I want to just add on to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, the NFL better be scared, because listen, Patrick freaking Mahomes is finding ways to manage games and win games. When we talk about Brock Purdy, right, and we talk about he's a borderline MVP candidate, all this stuff, I don't want to hear that talk ever again. Because everything that Brock Purdy's experiencing right now, Patrick Mahomes is experiencing that times 2. Let me give you an example. He was dealing with the injuries of McCaffrey, right? Pacheco goes down. He's dealing with the injuries of Brandon Ayuk. Okay, well, Worthy went down before that. Rice went down before that. And before that, Hollywood Brown, right? So it's like he lost all his wide receiver ones. He lost his running back one. Now they're throwing the dudes that they found out there in Cleveland. Kansas City. So it's like it doesn't even add up to saying game manager when we talk about Brock Purdy, because this guy, Patrick Mahomes, is showing you what game management is. He's winning the game. A win is a win at the end of the day, and they're undefeated. Now, I know everyone's wondering where the heck is Travis Kelce. I'm gonna tell you where he's at. He's chilling, because he know they're in week 7, week 8, or whatever, and they're not even focused on him right now. During the time of during the playoffs, he's going to turn up. Right now, he's just on cruise control. He's chilling. He's doing commercials. He's chilling with.
He's busy being a Swiftie.
He's a Swiftie, exactly. He's chilling. But you know what? This is what you want, because you don't want so much high value on him so he can get injured. They already have it planned out where they're saying, okay, we're going to wait until the end of the season. We're going to wait until the playoffs, and then we're going to implement Travis into this mix. And I'm cool with that. If I was a Kansas City fan, I'm cool with that, because I just want to win games. And at the end of the day, doesn't matter how you win it. It's all a matter how if you win it. That's all that matters. So I just want to just say that the whole NFL, I'm talking about the AFC and the NFC, they should be scared out of their mind, because when they start getting these pieces back towards the end of the season, Patrick Mahomes is going to be throwing 300 with 3 touchdowns a night.
And he's only thrown 300 one time this season against.
And he's not trying to do more than that. He's trying to get that 3rd ring in a row, man. He's trying to get that 3-peat. He ain't focused on us. He ain't focused on his stats.
And not to mention, he's got for this season so far, 1,389 yards thrown, 6 touchdowns to 8 interceptions.
And like RB said, he's put up rookie numbers.
I'm about to say McDaniels damn near did that in 2 games.
In 2 games. Thank you. I swear I was going to say that.
Without the interceptions.
With better accuracy. You know what I'm saying? He's not focused on us.
I agree with you, Raj, but I will push back slightly. Believe me, I'm not a Purdy guy.
Okay.
But I don't think those injuries compare. The reason why I say that, let's be honest, Pacheco is not Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
They brought in that the Chiefs have an elite offensive line. They brought in Kareem Hunt, and they really haven't missed much of a beat. You know what I'm saying? Since Pacheco went down. Brandon Ayuk is dare I say, Rice is not Brandon Ayuk. He's not. I know he's a Super Bowl champion and you know the number 1 receiver in Kansas or whatever, but it's a reason Ayuk was such a hot commodity when everybody thought that San Francisco was going to trade him. You know what I'm saying? Debo going down and coming back. So like I kind of push back on that just a little bit, just in the comparison of the loss of talent.
That's fair. But the reason why I was comparing and contrasting the whole situation is because he's doing game management stuff that they always give Brock Purdy credit for. So regardless who's on the field or how great they are on the field, he finds a way to win the game.
I don't think they give Brock Purdy credit for that. That's why I said I agree with you to a certain extent, because I think they give Brock Purdy overwhelming credit. They make him a franchise elite level. You know, Dan Orlovsky be trying to make it sound like this dude is the second coming of fucking Joe Montana or some shit. So
I don't know why they do that.
Don't get me wrong. He's a serviceable quarterback so far. And hell, I will give him this much too, and I won't be long. He's done the best. He's done the best in that Kyle Shanahan system than all of the other quarterbacks that we've seen come and have success, go to the Super Bowl or go to the NFC Championship and lose. He's done the best out of all of them. So I will give him that much. But he still is not that elite level talent where he raises the talent around him. The talent around him raises him.
Right. Right. And one more thing I want to add in. Kansas City got their number. I mean, I don't know how many wins in a row since Patrick Mahomes been playing for them against the 49ers, but it seemed like every time they play against the 49ers, they win. You know, even with a depleted team, you're looking at a team. I mean, I can't even name the wide receivers that was on the field yesterday. Like, I know Worthy was out there, but that was it. You know, he was throwing the dudes that they found out in Kansas City. It was like, yo, they went out to Walmart. It was like, yo, can you catch? Yo, come with us. Get on a plane. We about to go to San Francisco real quick. Go, because, like, I don't know. I mean, do you guys recognize the wide receivers? I don't know any of them.
On Kansas City?
Yeah, last night. Who played last night? Because I was looking for Juju. He wasn't there.
Juju went out. Yeah, he went out.
He was out. Worthy was on the field. But the rest of those dudes, like, he was just throwing random dudes. I'm like, who are these guys?
You look at this. I'm looking at something now. Here's all the Niners injuries. Javon Hargrave, triceps. Jawan Jennings, hip. Jake Moody, ankle. Dre Greenlaw, Achilles.
I totally forgot about him.
I can't pronounce this guy's name here. I don't know if you guys can see him.
Is that Fred Warren?
Talana.
Oh, I don't know.
Wrist injury.
Hafamu, is that the linebacker?
Hafamu, yes. There we go. George Kittle, foot injury. Debo, hospitalized in pneumonia. Ayuk, knee injury. McCaffrey, Achilles.
Snake bit. Yo, they got snake bitten this year.
And it's rough.
I hate to say it. I don't even know if Mahomes could go and say that shit. Think about it. Think about it. If he's playing as bad numbers wise right now as he's playing in Kansas, then I don't think he would do too much better than what Purdy doing in San Francisco right now with all of those injuries. Which I think that kind of proves my case that their injuries are a lot worse than the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, well, when it comes down to talent, yeah, absolutely. Because, like you said, missing Brandon Ayuk is like that's one of the top receivers, you know. And if Brock ain't got him at least on the field, he don't really got a chance to win. Especially he's missing him and McCaffrey. Like you got the two top positions.
I about to say I think McCaffrey is the biggest blow because
running
back is a quarterback's best friend.
Yeah, that was a death blow. But he's coming back. He's going to play. He's probably going to be there. What week are we in? 7 or 8?
On the 7.
You said going to 7? Because I just seen the report that say he's not playing Sunday, I think.
Why not? They said he was in practice.
Kyle said he might not be playing.
Oh, they're trying to baby him. I mean, I'm not saying they're not supposed to, but let him get some snaps, man.
But you got to remember, Christian McCaffrey did have an injury history going all the way back to the Cam Newton Panthers. You know what I'm saying? He was in and out of the lineup a lot even back then.
But see, yeah, you're right. But in that situation, he's what, 28, 29?
Somewhere up in there.
You know what they say about running backs when they hit 28? They fall off the cliff. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed that if he's healthy, if he's able to play, they're not getting him back in the fold slowly, because I feel that would be the best way to approach it instead of babying the injury, because you don't want him to go out there and then, of course, run around and get hit, and then next, he's sitting out for the rest of the season. You want him to kind of like work himself into it, get him into it a little bit.
Pretty much. So now, yesterday, the Texans and the Packers.
That was a game.
This one was this one on paper.
That boy showed up.
On paper, I knew was going to be one of those special games, and I'm trying to pull up the stats.
Boo that!
Not being stupid and not letting me do it from where I was. So, yesterday, Jordan Love, 220 yards, touchdowns, 2 picks. Maybe not the cleanest game, but you got the win against, Houston, where C.J. Stroud
only threw for 86 yards.
86 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. It seemed like to me that Green Bay's defense is wildly underrated.
Yeah,
and I think people starting to notice it now.
You're picking up on it.
And for you to hold, one of the guys who's starting to get into that kind of elite conversation, or at least have an opportunity to get into it, to hold him to 86 yards is wild. It didn't translate. They found other ways to score points, and it was a battle. It was a back and forth battle. At least he didn't shoot himself in the foot with an interception down in there, but it was bad for him statistically yesterday. But give credit where it's due. The Packers have, when Jordan Love went down, we thought it was going to be a struggle, but he cleared himself up pretty quick, got back. What, he missed 2 games, maybe 3?
2,
yeah,
I think.
2 games.
Yeah. He got back, and now they are in position right there at the top.
4-2.
After yesterday's
5-2, right?
5-2. After yesterday's NFC North battle, they're right there in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings needed that game yesterday more than the Lions in order to stay ahead, right? Now, the playing field's level was much more level. Chicago, before their bye, was starting to kind of gel.
Chicago is 4-2.
So like I said, this division, I said at the beginning of the season, this division was going to be the best division to watch. It was either the NFC North or the AFC North. And, the Browns have messed the AFC North up from having that. So the NFC North definitely
And the
has
Bengals.
that crown. And, shout out to them, to Green Bay, because they came in, they handled business yesterday. And now, like I said, on paper, anyone can win this division. Anyone. Now that the Vikings came to show us that, we ain't gonna be last, homie. And if we are gonna be last, you'll have to fight us for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rod, or actually R&B, it's your team. We'll start with you. What were your thoughts on yesterday's game, and how do you like your chances through we're almost at half. We're a little under halfway. How do you like your chances so far to to win that division possibly?
Well, being that I got 2 teams in the race, I feel pretty damn good. I got 2 teams in the race. I feel pretty damn good. I think that the Lions are gonna win this division. I had Green Bay in the beginning because I had picked Jordan Love to be a MVP candidate this year for me, but I think that injury early in the season kind of derailed. So now he had to play catch up, which they are 5-2. So I'm rolling with the Lions to win the division. But the game yesterday, man, I like what I see from Green Bay's defense. I like what I'm seeing from Josh Jacobs catching the ball out of the backfield, becoming more acclimated into that offense as the weeks go by. Jordan Love is a fucking beast, man. He's a beast. When I look at Jordan Love play, it's literally like looking at a black young Aaron Rodgers. I can tell, which y'all have heard me lament this a couple times already. I can tell during the time that he was sitting on the bench watching Aaron, he was studying that man like Kobe studied Jordan, because he moves like him in the pocket. The only thing I need him to get better with is cleaning up the game a little bit and stop being so risky and throwing those interceptions, because those interceptions will come back to hurt in the playoffs. Bless you. But other than that, man, I think Green Bay's looking good. I think the defense is looking good. And I think that we're going to have 3 teams in the playoffs out of the NFC North. I think the Bears are going to stay solid, as we all expected them to be solid, because we said that they had given him the best situation that we've ever seen any number 1 pick come into, with all of the moves that they made to prepare him. But he's still a rookie. It's still a young team. They still, I would probably say, are the 4th best team in the division, and because of that, it's just not their time. And I think they will be the ones left on the outside looking in with a possible over 500 record, but still outside looking in. And I'm rolling with the Lions.
Oh, all right. Just so here we are. Okay, I got the comments open here. My stepson's in the room. What's up, Josh? TC's also here. What's going on? He booed something that we said. I didn't.
He was booing this. He was booing this. Don't boo, spread love.
And then while we're in the division, or actually, Roger, do you want to add to that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, just real quick. I agree with the comparison to young Aaron Rodgers, because you can see it in his game. He plays just like him. What happened?
He said, "Yeah, fuck the Packers."
But what makes it so special? We're witnessing a new type of black quarterback. Like we're witnessing a quarterback that got a serious arm and can run. I mean, even though we know others like, obviously your Lamar Jackson and stuff like that, but I'm talking about a pure quarterback, not just a run-first quarterback. And I love it. But what I will say is this. It's actually a side note to the Texans. I believe C.J. Stroud is hitting the sophomore wall. He got one more clunker game in him, and I'm gonna officially say he hit the wall, because
too, right?
It's hard to play like you playing in the beginning, and then all of a sudden now you're like you're overthinking your decisions. You're not moving the ball down the field, and to be honest, his confidence is shot. His confidence has been shot since they played Chicago. Because even when they played against the Buffalo Bills, like, he wasn't playing as confident as he was against Chicago. And it just seems like something is up. So I don't know if it's like mental, I don't know if it's physical, but I believe he's hitting the sophomore wall. But as far as Jordan Love, he's going to be an MVP. Not soon, but I mean not anytime soon, but it's coming. Like, he's already gearing up for it. I think he's like literally one player away from getting that done, because his talent, skills, and everything else is there. Like you said, if he cleans up the bad decisions, throwing in double coverage and stuff like that, I think he can definitely be an MVP by probably either next season or the season after that, because he's already got the arm talent and he got the speed. As long as he stays healthy, man. But I love seeing him play.
And he's got to figure out that slump now, because next week they play the Colts, which could go either way. They're iffy, and then they play the Jets on Halloween. Then it looks like no, I don't think that's a bye week. Then they play the Lions 8:20.
Mm-hmm.
Then they play the Cowboys on Monday night 8:15.
That's a rejuvenation, even if they don't need a rejuvenation.
Still got a game against the Ravens on the docket. They got the Ravens and the Chiefs back to back. They got a game.
Oh, that's a terrible one.
It's dirty.
That's brutal.
Then they got a game against the Dolphins, the Jaguars, the Titans. I mean, they still got a lot of winnable games, but they need to, this next stretch, these next 4 can make or break the season for them.
Yep. I agree.
Because the next 4, you got the Colts division game. You got the Jets. They're looking to turn things around. And you got the Lions. I mean, that's going to be an elite game. That's a night game too. And then you got the Cowboys, same thing. Hopefully they're hoping to turn things around coming out of the bye week and start a run of their own. So
we'll see. We'll see about that.
But
Raj, do you think that he's really hit a sophomore slump wall, or would you kind of want to attribute some of how bad they've looked at times, because they haven't looked horrible. They still a winning team.
Right.
To all of the injuries that they've sustained so far this year. One being Nico Collins, who some have coined as one of the best wide receivers in the league after the year he had last year.
Yeah,
and how he started out before he got hurt.
Lead in the league too. In the league in yards before he went down.
Yeah. Well, to answer that question, I feel like, how can I say this? I think he's either 1 or 2 more games of seeing like clunker games. Like I said, some bad games. He's not turning the ball over, which is a good thing. You know what I mean?
He's playing some elite defenses too.
Yeah, which is very true. That's why I'm not chalking it as, oh, well, I think he hit the wall, because you're right. The injuries are adding up. The defense that he's playing against, like you said, Green Bay's defense is probably top 3 right now. Underrated, but they're definitely top 3. But I do feel like it's a lot of mental. Like I think it's more mind than anything. Like if he does this again, who do you got next, Mike? Who do they play again? Next week.
Who play? The Texans?
The Texans, yeah.
Colts.
See, now the Colts, I'm not saying it's an easy team, but it's a team to get you back on track. So
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't because Anthony Richardson, we know he's up and down, but he's shown that he can be elite. And let's be honest, even if Flacco's in there, Flacco's shown that he can ball with this team as well, just like he did with the Browns last year. But those are not going to be an easy out for anybody.
Which is true. I'm not saying they're going to win. What I'm saying is getting his game back on track. Like, do you consider Indianapolis's defense top 10?
No.
See, that's what I'm saying. So if he can find a way to put up some solid numbers, I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm not saying they're going to beat the Colts.
You're just saying like get himself back comfortable, win or loss.
Yeah, like put up 200 like you were before you lost Nico. And I think it's also like the personnel too. Like he's got some great talent around him. He got Stephon Diggs, he got Tank Dell, but he's not using them. Like he's not like I don't know if it's a personality thing, but Stephon Diggs don't fit, man.
That's my next question for y'all. How long is it gonna be before we get a Stephon Diggs outburst on the sideline or he cuts Stroud out? I need to know. Is it coming next week? Is it next week? The Colts. I'm like, it got to be coming at some point.
He was almost doing it this week.
Yesterday, he took it off on the Packers this week.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So next week he's going to take it out. He's going to take it on CJ, and I honestly think there's some dissension in the locker room. That's what I'm saying. If they can't figure it out by the Colts game, like next week, I'm telling you, it's going to be a problem. You're going to see a decline in the morale. But to fully answer the question, I think next week says a lot. Like I don't know if they're going to win or lose, but I need a close game. I need a game that he's putting up 200 plus yards. I need a couple touchdowns, 1 or 2 touchdowns, maybe. You know what I'm saying? And I need him to play with confidence, like he did when he played against Chicago. Like he was lighting it up.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, Nico Collins, like that plays a role. But you got Stephon Diggs, you got Tank Dell. What more you need?
Yeah, I mean, and Nico Collins, and they got Joe Mixon.
You got Joe Mixon. Like I feel like they got a squad that can win games. But
hold on, Joe was hurt. Don't forget, Joe was hurt. Joe just came back. What week before? What last week or
last week? They can win games. I like I said, I just feel they just in a slump. But we'll see what happens. I do feel they missing Nico more than anything, man. That dude, he's like.
My bad. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say he's like their savior when it comes down to offense. That's it.
I was just gonna say, and we also have to take into account that this year they're hunted. They're not the hunters. Last year they caught everybody off guard. This year everybody ready for them, and they still have a winning record. So that kind of attests to something.
Well, that's another thing. That's why I mentioned the sophomore slump, because that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you catch them off guard, like you like what's the name? What's my man's name? Jaden Daniels, right? Like nobody expected him to be as hot as he is right now. But I guarantee you, next season his numbers are going to take a dip. I'm not saying he's going to be bad, but he's not going to be able to put up the numbers he's doing right now because they haven't seen this before. They haven't seen that, so they're getting used to his game plan. They're preparing for him next season. So man, I don't know. We'll see what happens next week. It's going to be a very important week for the Texans.
So how does that game or Green Bay's win and Chicago's doing? How does the battle of the NFC North yesterday affect that? Vikings went in undefeated. Now the Lions rightfully are the division leaders, right? That game changes the perplexity of that whole division, right? So
Mm-hmm.
how does that? What were you guys' thoughts on that game? And is this the key to the Lions maybe separating from the rest of the pack, or do you see it still staying close till the end? I personally think it's going to stay close. The Lions can separate. I just don't think it's going to happen. Personally.
Just to answer real quick, I'm gonna be very quick with it. I think that game was a very telling game. That was a very important game for the Lions. That was a very important game for Dan Campbell, because if they lost that game and the Vikings went 6-0, like that's gonna be an uphill battle, because you gotta think about it. Even if it comes down to a tiebreaker, and you're like, okay, who's gonna win it? Who's gonna win the division? Is it gonna be the Lions or the Vikings? They got one up. Like they got that win. So the fact that the Lions got that win in a fashion where it was like it was very close, came down to what, a field goal, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So it goes to show you it could have went either way. And at this point, they're the best team. I'm being honest. Outside of Kansas City, like in the NFC, the Lions are the best team, and they proved it last night.
There you go.
They proved it. Because remember, we had this discussion last week. We was talking about who's the best team. We was like, oh, is it the 49ers? Is it the Lions? Is it the Bucks? They prove they can go toe-to-toe with undefeated teams and win. Find ways to win. So that's all I'm going to say about it. I think it's going to come down to at least one or two games. And if the Lions keep doing what they're doing, they're going to win that division. And if they win that division, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. That's my prediction with the NFC, because they're doing better than any team in that whole entire conference.
TC said, "Go Lions! It's still close. It could still be the same. We play again at the end of the season."
Yeah, we do.
Right.
But we on the tiebreaker right now.
It'll be a tie. It won't be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing to lose. I mean, it's one thing to win, and you got one up on them. But it's another thing to tie it. Like, either they're going to tie it or they're going to win the whole thing.
Yeah. This the thing about it too, Raj. I'm gonna go a little bit against you. I think Minnesota needed that game more than the Lions did. And the reason why I say that is because dating back to last year, they haven't beaten us. Jared Goff, dating back to last year, is 3-0 against Minnesota. One win at home, one win being in Minnesota, and now another win being in Minnesota this year. So you just lost 3 straight to this team. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to lose 3 straight dating back, and this is the team that knocked you off of the division the year before as well. So you know what I'm saying, and now you're in the thick of it with them this year versus last year. You want to stay competitive. So I think that the Lions had. I'm not gonna say that they didn't really care to win, or anything like that, but I think that they could have taken a loss yesterday and still not it wouldn't have been a shot in the foot, because I still believe that they would have had full confidence that they could still go to Minnesota and win a playoff game if they had to or whatnot. Now, don't get me wrong, they definitely did, needed and could use the win by far. Don't get me wrong. I just felt like Minnesota just kind of needed it a little more to prove something, being the undefeated team, but not the team that went to the NFC Championship last year. So I think the Lions are the best team in the NFC right now. And I think that they are going to win the division, as I said earlier, and I think that they are going to go to the Super Bowl this year, especially with the 49ers looking the way that they look. The only obstacle that I see in our way is a team from the NFC North, and that would be the Minnesota or Green Bay. Other than that, I don't see anybody else knocking us off in the NFC.
Would you also consider, and this is kind of fitting into our conversation, but would you also consider the Eagles as like competition for NFC?
Of course, because of their talent, but the way that they're playing right now, I just don't. They did what they were supposed to do to the Giants yesterday. Don't get it twisted. But let's be honest, with all of the talent that the Eagles have, they should be right there where the Lions and the Vikings are at 6-0, 5-1, or whatever, and yet they're sitting here at what, 4-3 or 5-3?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying, that's why I don't trust the Eagles, and that's why I don't fear the Eagles as well, because they have a tendency to play down. And I just feel like, I'll be honest, I feel like that even though this ain't the subject, I feel like they coach is just not a good coach. That's just
I
my
agree.
personal opinion.
Didn't I say that last week, Mike?
Yeah,
it's too much talent. It's too much talent for them not to look better than they look. I'm not saying it's football, so it's hard to win. We get it, right? But they have, with all of that talent, you got to look better than they have, man. Yep. Especially with a team that was just in the Super Bowl the year before last.
Yeah,
that window isn't closing on Philly. They're damn near closing it themselves. So that's what I think about Philly as far as competition in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean, while we're on Philly, it wasn't the Eagles versus the Giants yesterday. It was Saquon Barkley telling this other team to fuck themselves. Like literally,
you can feel that.
Yeah. I said to my wife before the game, because I set my lineups in one of my money leagues. I'm like, I didn't put Saquon back in, so I moved it. She goes, you think he's have a good game? I'm like, he's playing the Giants. This is a revenge game. Even if it's not intentional, he is going to run his ass all over this team. The Giants are pathetic, like so pathetic. It's not even a joke. It's not even a game. They're just god awful. Call it what it is. And yesterday, Saquon really just showed them like, you should have gotten more help, because let's be honest, he was their offense, and now, now Malik Neighbors is their offense, and then he gets hurt. Now look, they're in the crapper. I work with a guy. His name's Dylan. He's a big Giants fan, and he's like, I just want to lose every game. We need a damn quarterback. I was just like, you need more, but a quarterback's a start, right? Like someone competent to throw the ball for you. Like hell. I said, man, go.
Isn't it?
Next season, if you get no one, Deshaun Watson comes back, man, give him a shot. He goes, no. I'm like, damn. He's better. I would take him over Daniel.
Trying to put themselves in the Ewers sweepstakes. Hey, but I agree with you, Mike. I take Deshaun Watson over Daniel Jones too. But I think that's too much of a media circus for somebody like Deshaun that's been through everything that he's been through. That's too much of a media circus for him to try to tackle going there.
Be in New York, right?
Yeah.
I think he'll be a Brown again, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think so too. That contract's like impossible to move.
Given the history. It's not like he was out here balling and got hurt or whatever. Like he looked how he looked. Nobody gonna want to take that on, man.
Yeah,
not under that capacity. The only way it'll happen is if they do what the Broncos did with Russ, eat the money up, and so that another team will take them on. That's the only way I see it working.
Well, I'm ready to close the NFL window, but I saved this for last. You already know. Last night, I stayed up till 11:30. I don't stay up that late often, but a crucifixion happened on TV last night.
Here we go. I gotta like my
crucifixion.
Damn it.
Now I ain't gonna lie. In the beginning of the game, I was like, take that nigga out. He's playing like hot ass. But all it took was that one catch to Pickens, that one throw, and suddenly the whole game turned around. Now, what I will say is this.
I hate you, Mike.
I don't.
For real. Just get to your point, Mike.
I don't blame the fraudulent one on this one. But now, right.
You hurry up and you get to your damn point. I swear I'm about to.
I just love that y'all have no rebuttal.
Please.
So I have to soak this moment up. Y'all have no rebuttal for the high level of incompetence that was shown by the team. Now, to be fair, Garrett Wilson let that one hit it off his chest. That shit was
exactly. Right. Is that a fumble? I mean, is that an interception, Mike?
That was just his hands were in the wrong place.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this team. Go ahead, man.
The other pick, that's on Rodgers. That one's on him. But the one, it bounced off. And I'm not going to sit up here and say Russell Wilson, even though he brought life to the team. Well, let's be honest. 3 of those throws, 2 of them to Pickens, should not have been caught. The one where
at all,
a baby,
like God was on his side.
I love it. One where he's tipping the ball, and I'm just
it was like this. He was fumble, caught it.
And then Freiermuth, who's been dead for like 8 weeks of football, all of a sudden he just throws a dime,
and he catches it. Impossible.
And, Breece Hall had a great game. He showed up.
Breece Hall played his ass off last night. He is about the
he played like he was working for a contract. He knew his time was up.
Yeah, but when I'm looking at this last night, and just the Jets were up 15-6, and then to lose 37-15. This wasn't even on Aaron Rodgers. This wasn't on. It was a team effort. It was a team effort.
I'm really getting hot. I got to take this damn head off because you
pissing me off.
You really pissing me off. Pissing me off.
You're gonna sit. What? Y'all ain't never happy when we talk.
No, because you full of shit. You are full of shit when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, man.
Hold on.
Go ahead. I need to hear it.
Did I not say that the one interception wasn't his fault? Did I not say?
What I'm talking about. You think that's you slick? Can I go first, Raj, please?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I'm gonna get this out the way.
Absolutely.
All of the games that we've been watching of the Jets this year, they've been on prime time. What? 5 games already this season?
Is it 5 games?
I don't think so.
I feel like it.
It might be 3 times.
3 for sure. They've been on prime time, and all of these games we didn't watch with the Jets, right now, where Aaron Rodgers has been hitting these receivers, and they've been dropping balls, and the O-line hasn't been protecting, and you coming on here saying, "Oh, he looked god awful and he looked like garbage," and then the one night that he actually does look like garbage, because he looked like pure garbage last night, you come on here and try to say it wasn't his fault.
It wasn't all his fault. Did Aaron Rodgers allow? Hold on. Did Aaron Rodgers allow 37 points, or did the defense?
Of course, the defense did, Mike. But it was because we wasn't on the field.
Yeah, but you was up. They spotted you a 15-6 lead, and you put nothing else up. You put nothing else up.
So now you've proven my point that I prove every week that he's fucking fraudulent.
That's not true. That's not true.
That's not true. What I'm saying is that when it's not on him, you try to say it's on him. And when I'm gonna say last night was on him, and I'll say it's on the defense. I think Aaron Rodgers played absolutely horrible last night. He was missing throws all over the place. The offensive line was still horrible in pass blocking. Right. They really weren't that good in rush blocking either. Breece Hall just was getting some freak play. Breece Hall best plays came out of passes out of the backfield, not running. Let's get that understood. It put him in space. But overall, the offensive line still played trash last night like they've been played. But Aaron Rodgers was able to get some throws off. And he missed a lot of throws last night. I think that it's going to be a rhythm thing with him and Devontae. I didn't expect Devontae to come in the first week and just go crazy and save them. And I'm going to get my Steelers point out the way, too, so that way, you guys can have the floor. I told you what this offense could possibly be with Russell Wilson instead of Justin Fields. I've been preaching this. I think me and Stephen A. Smith have been the only two people preaching this since damn near week 2 that Russell Wilson still deserves a chance to show what he can do in a Pittsburgh uniform. Reason why I kept telling you that, I see a comment in here last night. I mean, not last night, but I see a comment in here right now where Josh Ramirez, he says Russ trusts his receivers unlike Justin Fields. I kept telling y'all the Steelers had. Hold on, Raj. Why are you making that face? Because since week 1, Justin Fields has only had 2 touchdowns to how many receivers?
1.
Russ had 2 touchdowns to how many receivers last night?
I don't know. How many?
In one game, he's done what Justin Fields hasn't done in 6. So the Steelers have the type of receivers that Russ is accustomed to playing with. I've lamented this before. If you go back to the Seattle days, Russ normally does good with receivers who go get the ball. He's never really been he's not an inaccurate quarterback, but he's never really been a, tight windows, timing type of guy. Russ is the type of guy that says, I got the accuracy and the power to put it in the spot. Do you have the talent to go get it? Last night, Pickens, which I've been saying it about Pickens, Fryer move. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they have the type of talent positions on the outside where these guys run the type of routes, not just to get open, but to go get the ball. And that's what Russ is accustomed to having his most success with, people who go get the ball. And we seen that last night. And not only that, he will give them a chance to go get the ball. He will throw the ball down the field. He will do better at making explosive plays down the field. Justin Fields, I'm not saying that he can't get there, but over this little 6-week experiment that we've been going through with him in Pittsburgh, he just hadn't shown it. He didn't play terrible, but he didn't take the job away. And that's my take on it. When you get out there, you're supposed to say to yourself, I'm going to do everything to make sure Russell Wilson never sees this field. Fuck what the coaches are talking about. They want to say they not opening it up for him because they don't trust him. I'm going to make them trust me. Open that bitch up. Let me do what I do. Give me a chance. It must be something there that they were seeing in practice that they just didn't trust it to open it up. And Mike Tomlin did what I knew he was going to do. I knew it was coming. There's no way you're not going to win. His job is on the line. They not talking about it, but I believe Mike Tomlin's job is on the line this year if they fuck around and miss the playoffs or go to the playoffs and get booted in the first round again as a 9-8 team or some shit like that. So this had to happen. This move was imminent.
Well, the other thing before Rods jumps in is they needed to know what they had before the hard part of the schedule comes, because next week they play the Giants, which should get them to 6-2 before the bye, which is where you want to be, right? You want to be 6-2 because after the bye you come out, you play the Commanders, which will not be an easy game. For years that was a chalked up win on paper. That's not an easy game. You still have 6 divisional games remaining left. Yeah, the Browns may not be much, but you know what? I don't take no divisional game for granted. They can be 0. They could be 0-7 right now. A divisional game is a divisional game. There's still a game on Kansas City. There's still a game in Philly. And the Kansas City game, like I said, on Christmas. So I think they needed to know what they had in him so that they could figure out where to go from there.
Versus, I think they already knew.
Well, yeah, but let's be honest, because before that catch, Justin Fields was on the side warming up with a helmet on.
He sure was.
He had a helmet on.
They were already talking about having him in certain packages anyway. But yeah, he was on the sideline warming up. But like he was warming up, Russ had to warm up too. And we see how it looked once he finally got hot. That's a good point. I give you that. Raj, go ahead, bro. I know you.
All right, I'm gonna start off with the Jets. All right. I'm gonna start off with the Jets, and then I'm gonna work my way to the Steelers.
Be easy on him, Raj. Before he know not what he do.
It's fine because you already did the bulk of it, which I couldn't have said better. But what I will say is this: Aaron Rodgers is 41 years old. He's 41. Okay. At this point, we cannot expect him to be Aaron Rodgers 5 or 10 years ago. So if we see some overthrows, if we see some underthrows or whatever, that's expected. But what makes me upset about this whole situation with the Jets is that our wide receivers cannot catch the ball. That is the most absolutely insane thing in the world. You play a position. That's all you do. You don't do anything but just play a sport. And you get paid really good to play this sport. You get paid really good to play a position, which is called wide receiver. And you can't catch the ball? I watched Devontae Adams drop a ball yesterday that was literally handed to him. Okay? He dropped the ball. Then you go and see Wilson, right? Ball lands in his chest, flips out, interception. Mike Williams, garbage, bro. He should go to the UFL. He's trash. Okay? He lost his steps. He don't know where he's going.
You don't gotta talk about me on screen like that, bro. Damn.
Well, not you. You know, the guy wearing the Jets uniform. I can't stand that guy. Okay, I wish they would just cut him because he's a disaster. Okay,
Chargers want him back.
Huh?
Chargers want him back, from what I was reading earlier.
They can have him. They can have him. We don't want him because he's a disaster. Now, as far as the run game, that run game wasn't there. But guess what? Breece Hall showed us another side. He can catch the ball and he can run it. He got 111 yards. Okay, mm-hmm. He tore it up. He was a top wide receiver, even though he plays running back. So I bring this up because there's two folds to it, Mike. There's the side of our wide receivers can't catch, and then there's the side that Aaron Rodgers is 41 years old and he's pretty much an old geezer in the game of football. Okay, so he's stuck in his ways. Now, can they get back on track? It's possible. They could. But as long as the defense is playing as crappy as they are, there's no point of even showing any type of offensive prowess because guess what? It doesn't matter. We could go up 50 and the team that's playing us is going to score 51 because the defense is horrible. Now, going to the Steelers. Let me say this. And I want you both to hear me loud and clear. Tomlin is going to lose his job. And I'm not saying it's going to happen because of the record, but it's going to happen during the damn playoffs. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I was told if you got 2 quarterbacks, you got 0 quarterbacks. And at the end of the day, we're just one bad game away from Tomlin losing his damn job because Justin Fields have lost complete confidence and they lost complete confidence in him. And that's terrible because for them to get to the record they got, it's because of him. Regardless if he's throwing the ball down the field or not, he's playing his type of ball and he's winning games and he's finding ways to win. Now you got Russ out there and yeah, Russ played terrible in the beginning, but then all of a sudden, God just shined the light on those wide receivers, and they caught what was that movie? Angels in the Outfield. They start catching passes like that. Okay, I've seen some stuff I've never seen before.
He said Angels in the Outfield.
Angels in the freaking outfield, and you know what movie I'm talking about? That damn movie. And they catching the balls all flipping all over the place, and he catches it, and then he goes for 50. Listen, that's not gonna happen next game. In fact, I won't be surprised they lose against the Giants because Russ is going to be Russ. This is the same dude that had the freaking Subway commercial that he had the sandwich that said dangerous. Okay? This man does not scream dangerous to me at all. And I know for a fact he's a clunker game away from Mike Tomlin being on a hot seat. And when they get to the playoffs, They're going to have to face reality. And reality is they don't have a quarterback. They only got one opportunity to win, and they don't have a quarterback. So if they go to the playoffs and get knocked out first round, it's over. Because they could have.
I think Mike Tomlin saved his job.
We're going to look back at this video, and I'm trying to tell you, he destroyed his job because he put Russ out there. I would have never put Russ out there unless Justin Fields is injured. If we're 4-2, I'm keeping you out there because you need that confidence, and you need to know that I trust you and you trust me.
Mike Tomlin. My bad. Go ahead. I thought you were.
No. Go ahead. I want to hear it.
Mike Tomlin. I had a question.
Yeah.
How long has he been a coach in the NFL now with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Was it 15 years?
15 years, right?
15
years. I think so.
And 15 years, right? And he's never had a losing season, right?
Right.
He's won a Super Bowl. He's been to another Super Bowl and lost. He's led Pittsburgh to what maybe one or two AFC championships outside of those Super Bowl runs,
and like six division titles, I believe.
So don't we think that at the end of the day, if this man makes a move, that he's earned the right to have people have confidence in the moves that he make, being his tenured of success? I think yesterday he saved his job by putting Russell Wilson out there, because I said if Russell Wilson can give you with that defense what he was doing in Denver last year, don't get me wrong, the first year in Denver, absolutely horrible. But who was the head coach? Fucking Nathaniel bum-ass Hackett, the same dude that's was the offensive coordinator for the Jets. And we all know he only got that job because of Aaron Rodgers, right? He only got the Broncos job because they thought that it would bring them Aaron Rodgers, and it didn't. So again, I think that Russell Wilson was a scapegoat for Sean Payton and John Elway them last year, because they didn't want to pay him all of that money, and he wasn't Sean Payton's guy. Sean didn't want him. To be honest, I thought that situation was even a bit racist, if you ask me.
It was 100%.
Sean Payton, and they hung Russ out to dry. Russ ain't washed. Russ like our age. I'm not saying he a spring chicken, but he damn sure ain't washed. So if he could give you what he did in Denver last year, not even starting the full season, the Pittsburgh Steelers can threaten to win the Super Bowl. They will not be a first round and out team this year. Yes, I said it.
All right, let me say this. By the way, Mike Tomlin been a coach for 17 years, since 2007.
That's even more to my argument. Let that man cook. Let Tomlin cook.
Mike, I'm not even a Steelers fan, but I love Mike Tomlin. I think he's one of the best coaches of all time. I think he's the greatest coach of all time. But what I will say is this.
I wouldn't go that far.
That's my opinion, but I'm saying it because I want you guys to understand this. This is going to be the death of him. I'm trying to tell you, because Russ, yes, he's our age, right? He's in his like late 30s or whatever. But Russ is a smaller quarterback. He's 5'10" on paper. Justin Fields, I think, is 6'3". Right. And but hold on. I'm saying this because before, see, Russ's gift was his speed. His gift was to look and throw and to be around. Like he was like what's the name? How Kyler Murray was in the beginning, like his first season. He was a lot like how Kyler Murray, like real speedy, real fast, can throw, right? And he's using his size as his advantage because he's not so quick to take down. But at this point in his career, he lost a step or two. And at this point, his accuracy is not what it used to be. So if you're taking his best assets away and you're just putting good wide receivers there, that's not fixing the problem. The problem is he's an older quarterback that lost his step, and his accuracy is not what it used to be. So,
but what did he look like last night from the second quarter on?
That was one game.
He didn't look nimble to you.
In the first half, he threw to the
ground. In the first quarter,
he threw to the ground, and it's because he was scared of getting hit.
Rusty. You talking about a dude who didn't play no preseason?
Yeah,
like just he was straight rusty. I'm not trying to be a Russell Wilson apologist, but my gosh.
But Russ is going to be rusty, and it's going to cost them. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not going to. Yesterday, like I said, it was Angels in the outfield, Steelers movie. Okay, they were catching balls that they weren't supposed to catch.
So, and so I've also seen Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf and Golden Tate catch a lot of balls that they weren't supposed to catch because they were accurately placed in deep zones to where only they could go and get it.
And that's when Russ was a little bit younger. He had a little bit more of a step and he had more accuracy than. I'm trying to tell you. All right. So who they play after they play the Giants? Who do they play next, Mike?
They have a bye week. And then they play the Commanders.
The Commanders?
Yeah, bye week, then the Commanders.
Watch how, okay, now I want y'all to clip this, right? I want y'all to clip this on the tape. Watch how Russ stinks that game up, okay? He's going to play okay during the Giants game. He's going to stink up the Commanders game. And after the Commanders game, you guys got who? Dallas?
Now we played Dallas. We start our division games. We got Ravens, Bengals, Browns in a row.
Now you guys going to get, listen, I'm telling you, you're going to watch how things unfold by game 3 and 4 of Russ playing. And then they're going to be calling for Justin to come back on the field. I'm trying to tell you, you can't play this game of having two quarterbacks that need to start. It's not going to work.
Well, here's the reason why you're wrong about Tomlin's job. I have Bill Cowher's record in front of me. Mike Tomlin's only the third coach for the Steelers in the franchise's history. There is a stretch here where Bill Cowher had 3 straight losing seasons. They did not fire him. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. Bill Cowher is renowned as one of the greatest coaches, and he only had 1 Super Bowl, and that was at the end of his career.
But Mike Tomlin's black.
I give you that, but you know
how this goes, Mike. You know how this goes.
And the last thing that I wanted to make sure that I brought up was that kind of like irks me is, I really wish Aaron Rodgers would stay away from microphones. I really do.
You and me both. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a fan of that.
He sits up there no matter whether they win or they lose, and he's frustrated. He don't want to be there. You happier than a pig in shit talking media with Pat McAfee every week, all smiling at Devontae like he's your wife, bringing him on screen. And then when you go up there and stink up the joint, you like, I tell the team not to listen to you, the media, and then say, yeah, he needs to play better. But it's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why? Just why? Just stay away from microphones, man. If you're gonna be like that.
All I can picture Devontae Adams coming in and appearing in the background.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, because they brought up the trade. They're like, so the trade, and then he just looked over, and here comes Adams with a football. Yeah. They're like, hey! I'm like, yeah, now you want to talk. Oh, there we go. So.
Oh, he buffered out again?
There he is. So, I'm going to close the NFL window because we're already, like, balls deep into the show. Who you guys got in each game tonight? Ravens and the Bucks, and what's the other game? Is it the Chargers and the Cardinals?
Yeah, that's on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
No, it's on ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus, yeah.
It might as well be on Hulu. I mean, show that shit on Tubi. Nobody's watching it.
You're not with this game on.
Real quick, I got the Ravens winning this game, and as far as the Chargers and Cardinals, I got the Chargers unfortunately winning, even though they shouldn't win, but they're gonna win.
I agree with those two. What about you, R&B?
Give me the Chargers, and fuck it, I'm gonna go and hop out there. Give me the Bucks and the upset.
Okay.
It's possible they got a hot team.
Absolutely.
If I can give you a little bit of why I say give me the Bucks and the upset.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that Baltimore's defense is one against the best when it comes to stopping the run so far this year. But on the back end, they can be had. Quarterbacks have had their way with the Ravens secondary. So I think Baker Mayfield could do some of the same with Mike Evans in the red zone and with Godwin just running the best routes underneath and intermediate. Like he a beast. So I think that they could have some success in the air. I don't even think the Bucs gonna run the ball a lot, to be honest with you. I don't think they're gonna really try to run against Baltimore. I think the game plan is gonna be like some 2011 Lions Stafford Calvin Johnson shit. Throw it and throw it often.
So far, they ran it like 4 times on this one drive.
Right.
Really?
Yes,
They're trying to throw them off. I agree. I agree.
So they can implement the play action.
Is their Achilles heel. So
yeah,
throwing over the top is how they're gonna win. If they win.
Yeah. If they win. Yeah.
So, all right. So we're gonna flip to the NBA. Couple signings I got that I read today is Jalen Suggs and the Magic agreed to 5 years, $150 million. Jalen Green and the Rockets agreed to 3 years. Wow. Tunny. 3 years, $106 million. Trey Murphy and the Pelicans agreed to 4 years, $112 million. Were the deals that I seen today. And then there was some rookie that got a big rookie extension. Hold on. I seen it earlier, but I forgot to write it down.
Who's that? Mike Evans?
Yeah, that's Mike Evans.
I just in the red zone, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, y'all gonna start fucking with me.
Give me 1 second, guys.
Jalen Johnson. Okay. Jalen Johnson signed a 5-year, $150 million rookie scale extension.
Jalen Johnson. Who does he play for?
Atlanta for the Falcons.
Atlanta.
Oh, and the Rockets center.
Sengun. I seen that.
5 years, $185 million.
Hey, that Josh Green deal sound a little off, don't it?
Yeah,
Jalen Green.
Jalen Green.
Yeah, you said 105 for 3?
3 years, $106 million with a player option in the 3rd year.
They don't. I don't think they really believe in him too much because
not at all. It took them to the deadline for them to make this deal,
and then only 3 years with a player option on year 3. Wow,
that's a tradable deal.
Yeah, it is.
That's a very tradable deal. In fact, he might get traded before trade deadline.
Deadline.
Yeah. Yep. When I seen that, there was also Sengun. Did he sign his or they denied him?
Nah.
Mike said he signed.
Yeah, $185 million. I just saw it. Where'd it go?
So
5 years.
So here's the thing with the Houston Rockets, right? And I'm not going to be long, but I just got to point something out. When they lost James Harden, they pretty much knew they'll never see any type of success when it comes down to a playoff run. So they're pretty much a farm team for the NBA. They're pretty much a team that develops stars and then keep it moving. Because if you think about it, Jalen Green was top 3 pick? He was like what, 2 or 3?
He was the number 2 pick because remember he
Number
was
2
mad
pick, right?
that we picked Cade, that the Pistons picked Cade.
Yeah.
And he
The
tried to
draft,
blast Detroit.
Kincaid got drafted number 1. He went number 2. And if you ask me, as far as full out talent, I think he's more talented than Kincaid. Cunningham, excuse me. Or was it?
Yeah, Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, Cade Cunningham. I think he's more talented than Cade Cunningham when it comes down to like athleticism and his ability to get to the rim and you know all that stuff.
I might disagree with you on the ability to get to the rim, but athleticism, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and he's being disrespected. 106 million for 3 years. Yeah, that's the
Hey, that sounds like a 2007 deal. That sounds like a good deal in 2007 for like the second or third best player on your team.
Yeah, that's like a bench warmer, you know. In fact,
you know, it could be a number of things. Like you said, they don't believe in him. Maybe he wanted the smaller deal. He doesn't believe in the team. Maybe it was more or like you said, also more movable. Because if they don't believe in it, you know,
that sounds more like a movable deal. Like they're working something behind the scenes because it took them up until now. Like everyone's contracts were supposed to be signed up until the deadline at 2 p.m. And the fact that he's their franchise player, but yet he's getting dragged out until the end, like it just goes to show you they don't really believe in him.
Math ain't math.
Yeah, the math ain't mathing, man. I mean, I know they haven't made the playoffs and they haven't did anything, but come on, man. The kid is 20. He's 21, 22. I think he's really young. Like,
because you can see it drag out, and that's another thing to look at too. To me, it's not odd to see it drag out because it's contract negotiations. Sometimes shit happens. Sometimes it does drag out. But normally for a young player of his caliber, for it to drag out this long, we thinking more along the lines of probably higher than what Sangoon got. Sangoon, what did we say? 165?
85. Yeah, that's crazy.
185 for 5 years. So you looking at Jalen Green and you thinking at the very least he might get somewhere around 195 to 200.
And I'm just got now Denver gave Aaron Gordon 4 years, 133 million.
Good.
See? Aaron Gordon, 4 years, 133. Aaron Gordon is what, 30 years old?
Yeah, he's in his 30s. Early 30s.
And he's definitely the fourth option? Like
some nights 3. It depends on who got it going between him and what's it?
MJP, Michael Porter.
Michael Porter Jr.
Right, but you know what? That's good they did that because I think Aaron Gordon is going to help Russ out a lot.
Oh yeah,
there.
He's going to help Russ out a lot on second unit, and he's already got the rapport with them. He's already cool with them. So imagine him as like a Blake Griffin with the Los Angeles
I definitely see some oops coming his way.
Yeah, it's going to be.
I think I see some oops for Gordon, Christian Brown. I think it's going to catch some oops off Russ in that second unit and look good.
Yeah, he's going to do amazing. He's going to play more than Jamal Murray. Because I don't know what happens to him. Like he goes to the playoff and he phones it in. He phones it in. I don't get it.
Wow. Definitely some interesting signings for sure. But you know what? Let's just let the cat out of the bag. Mr. Leonard.
Oh, damn. Not why.
Mr. Leonard.
I hate this because I love Kawhi, man. But damn.
Yeah, man, me too.
I just got, I'm not even going to soliloquy. I'm not.
Did Derrick Henry just turn the ball over? Oh, no. I thought it was a fumble.
I'm just going to say the injuries, man. It's over. It's time to retire. That's all I'm going to say. It's time. Do I think he can still play when healthy? Absolutely. Do I think he can still contribute when he's there? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But he's never there. And it's and he starts every season. Like listen, I forget if it was last season or season before, R&B. Me and Raj, we was talking, and the Clippers and the Suns played in game one.
Mm-hmm.
It was a phenomenal game. We was both up late texting and stuff. Talk about this game.
Yep.
Kawhi finished the game.
Vintage Kawhi.
Oh, he was phenomenal. Kawhi finished the game, had the post-game interview, said 7 words, and then suddenly he was out game 2. And we don't even understand what happened or anything. And we were like, damn, Lamar's getting jacked up. We didn't understand anything that was happening.
Yeah,
and then, like, I don't even know what's wrong with him now. It just says out indefinitely. I would assume it's his knee again, right? His knees.
Yeah.
But
they said that he's still been experiencing some knee soreness and shit. So.
It's just time. I mean, he left his scale on it. And it's kind of like I was watching earlier. I guess all the guys, because this is a kind of sad season. Inside the NBA's done after this season. Boo Amazon. This is their last season, and I guess I guess something they're gonna do, or they showed, I'm not sure. It was their 50 best players, and they had Charles Barkley, and he's looking, and he's got like papers, he has glasses on. And the person said, "Oh, you didn't put Kawhi Leonard?" He's like, "Don't question my list. You can't tell me who to put on my list." He goes, "Is he healthy?" And, healthy, being healthy, availability is I forget how that saying goes.
The best ability is availability.
There we go. He said that. And it's just like, but obviously he's out. Paul George is gone. I don't know who else is there right offhand right now. What does this mean?
He hurt again too.
He sure is.
What does that mean for the Clippers, in your all guys' opinion, this season?
I would say the Clippers, they're a rebuild team. They got rid of all their pieces. Paul George isn't there. Kawhi's injured, like every year. And the pieces that they had in place to kind of be like the counterpart to these injuries, they're gone. So I think they're in rebuild mode. I don't have no expectations for the Clippers. And in fact, I think they fire Ty Lue. I think this is the time that they finally say, you know what, we had enough of being mediocre and being Los Angeles Lakers JV team. Like, we got to get rid of you. And I think he's going to get fired this season. Unfortunately.
I'm about to say, because you confused me a little bit on that soliloquy, because I envision, this being the conversation that they would be having with Ty Lue as they let him go, and how I would be sitting there if I was Ty Lue and say, the fucking audacity of you to sit up and say, we tired of being mediocre. You fucking don't think I am either? My fucking 2 stars that you gave me to fucking run this shit with, one of them never there, and the other one is barely ever there. And now he's gone completely. So hell no, fuck out of here if they try to make Tyronn Lue a scapegoat for Kawhi Leonard's bad knees and Paul George suspect playoff ailments and bad knees and back and everything else as well. Fuck out of here. Tyronn Lue should be able to, if anything, they should be giving him another contract to stay there and help develop and rebuild with some young talent, because this is not on Tyronn Lue. This Clippers team may have won a championship if Kawhi Leonard could stay healthy.
Right.
Fuck Paul George. Paul George always gonna be, with Paul George, that what I'm saying, neither here nor there. The main guy for this team was always gonna be Kawhi Leonard. If he could have stayed healthy, they may have threatened to win a championship.
And you gotta look at this, and we had this talk a couple years ago, Raj, on the show, was that people were saying if Kawhi Leonard could go and win the championship in the Clippers, people were ready to put him in the conversation with Jordan,
Yep,
with Kobe, with LeBron. People were ready to throw him in the talk because he would have been, he's the first and first and only player to win to win the finals in 2 different conferences and win finals MVP in those 2 finals.
Yep.
And not to mention he's the only successful superstar that I can recollect. Maybe there's one during our time that I'm not thinking of that was traded for as a rental and won the championship. Like that don't happen very often. Never happened.
Rasheed Wallace in 2004, we just ended up retaining the rental and extended the contract.
Got you. Okay.
I didn't know he was a rental because he played there he was there 2 years, no? Or was
what I'm saying is when he got traded here, it was just like the Kawhi situation.
He was a free agent. Thing.
He was a free agent.
Oh, okay.
We had to re-sign him.
Okay.
He was getting he was getting ready to come up on his contract with Portland, which is why they traded him to Atlanta, and then he ended up getting traded to Detroit like a day later.
Shout out to Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah.
Very underrated.
Powerful.
And he played here longer than 2 years.
Was it? Okay.
We won the championship in 2004, and we re-upped them for I think 5 years after that. So
didn't they go to 2 championships with that team?
Yeah, we beat the Lakers, lost to the Spurs back-to-back years.
Okay, I thought they went to 2. But that 2004 year was special, man. that 2004 year. That 2004 year was special.
Real quick, the reason why I said Tyronn Lue is going to get fired is because they need a scapegoat. They need to blame somebody because it's obvious that Steve Ballmer don't know how to build a team. The people that he put in place for the GM and the president and all this stuff, he's just too busy out there screaming and yelling and acting like a maniac on the side. He's not focused on building the proper culture to win championships. Because keep in mind, this is the same ownership that traded away Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah,
and that kid is amazing.
They did trade Shai, but I have to push back a little bit and say that I feel like the Clippers have built a very good championship contending team. But how can you contend for a championship when the main pieces to the puzzle, main piece and side piece to the puzzle, both Batman and Robin are no shows? So if you turn on the WB on the 3:30 after school back in the day to watch Batman, and the whole episode, all you seeing is Joker and Catwoman and everybody else, and no Batman and Robin. Right? Are you not upset? Are you not entertained?
I mean, I'll be upset.
My point exactly. They've had don't get me wrong. Trading Shai was a mistake. Shai's a beast, but they've drafted young talent after that as well. They've traded for young talent. I like Terrence Mann. They've made some decent moves to put the Clippers in position to win the championship. It's just been you didn't have Kawhi and PG. You haven't had them.
And see, that's what I'm saying. They try to do exactly what Brooklyn did. And this is why I recognize it, because they gathered up as much talent as possible, but not building a championship team that can build. Like, prime example, Denver showed us this. Milwaukee showed us this, that you have to build through the draft. You can't focus on getting your stars through trades. It never works. And there's some teams that can do it, but not all teams can do it. And that's why, like, when they traded away Shai Gilgeous, I was like, that's the team right there. That's the squad. Because now you're taking away that young talent that can potentially get you over the hump in 3 to 5 years. Like, he doesn't experience the same type of injuries Paul George experiences. So you don't experience the same.
So say if they did hold on to Shai.
Right.
And now you looking at it, okay, you wanted to be, let's say everything stayed the same, but they held on. Well, no, everything can't stay the same because they traded Shea in the Paul George deal, correct?
Right, yes.
So let's say they do hold on to Shea and they don't trade for Paul George.
Uh-huh.
How do you think this Clipper team does with Shea? And fuck it, let's see. I even give you the James Harden deal happens, and you still got James Harden there too without Kawhi. How does this team look still without Kawhi?
You said without Kawhi?
Without Kawhi, how does this team look? It was Shea and James Harden is your two pieces, and the rest of the Terrence Mann and all of them built around it. Zubac and all of them.
What's his name light him up, by the way? Baker's cooking.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. To answer your question, to be 100% honest, I think they'll make it to the finals.
Stop, Raj.
I'm not. Look, think about this for a second.
Raj.
No, hold on. Hold on. Think about this for a second.
I'm listening.
You got Shea Gilgeous, right? That will go to the 2. He won't play the 1 because James Harden's there, right?
Yep.
So that's an extra 25 points right there. So you get like 10 to 20 from James. You get 25 from Shea, right? Then you have pieces like not Shingu. What's my man's name? Zubac, right? Solid center. He's not a slouch. He can get you some rebounds and put double doubles.
I like Zubac as a modern day center. And back in the day, it'd be a pump, but as a modern day center,
right? A modern day,
I like him.
Down in the paint type center. Yeah. Now, all they missing is the outside shooters because you would keep people like Norman Powell in there. You keep people like what's my man's name? He should shoot from the corner.
T-man,
you still got.
I know who you're talking about. The one who won the championship with Milwaukee.
Yeah. What's my man's name?
He played with KD too.
Yeah.
I can't think his damn name. I can't think his name. I know who you're talking about though. Yeah, he always got all the different sneakers. I know who you're talking about.
Anyway, you keep them. Okay, you keep that culture. You keep the role players being role players, and you build a star between Shea Gilgeous and James Harden and whatever pieces they got. Right? Even Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann will become a really good small forward or shooting guard. You know what I'm saying? He'll become one of the best because now the shots will be open for him. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying they'll win a championship, but damn it, they can get to the finals. You think they can't beat the Lakers? You think they can't beat in the past 4 years? Who made the finals? The Lakers, Denver.
I'm not even talking about the Lakers.
No. I'm saying the Western Conference teams that made it. You don't think Shea on a team with James Harden can't beat those teams?
No. Because I'm keeping it in reality perspective. We not talking about James Harden from 2012, 2013, 2014.
No, I'm talking about James Harden from Philly. I'm talking about the James Harden from Philly.
We talking about the James Harden that's in LA right now.
Even him right now, he'll be a pure point guard. He won't play the score no more. He'll be a straight point guard. I would have him playing I would have him playing a role of like Chris Paul. Just give me the damn ball. I don't need you to score. Give me the clutch buckets when you can. We got Shea. We got Terrence Mann. We got a center that can pick and roll. We're gonna win some damn games to get to the finals. Damn it,
Mike.
Yeah,
Mike. Rod's specialty is football, ain't it? He sounded like the ex running back that's so good in the media that they done did a Shannon Sharp with him and just start letting them talk about all of the sports because
Right.
he had a good take up.
Right now,
basketball is my specialty. But look, I'm looking at it from a reality standpoint, though.
No,
listen,
bro.
R&B, what I'm saying is,
you hold on. I listen. Now, I'm about to. You listen to your own point right now. You're sitting up here telling me that you think that a team headed by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, James Harden, up and down injury-riddled James Harden is your second best player, and a Terrence Mann and Zubac could threaten to get to the finals in the Western Conference.
And you know how I know this? All right, and you know, no. I'm about to listen. I'm about to put the bow on the argument. I'm about to be
drug tested.
Listen. I'm about to put the bow on the argument. And Mike, tell me if I'm wrong. Mike, tell me if I'm wrong. You know how I know this is true? Because even with what you just mentioned, all those people are less talented than what you see. I mean, all those people that Shai's playing with right now are less talented than what I just mentioned. And guess what? It is true.
Not true. Those boys on OKC are balling.
OKC is balling because you got Shai Gilgeous at the front, and then you got a whole bunch of backup singers.
Bro, they got some ballers in OKC. So you gonna sit up here and tell me that Zubac is better than the white boy in OKC?
Right now he is. Right this second he is. Now, if you say 2 or 3 years from now, no, of course not, because he got more upside. But we're talking about pure freaking centers that can get you 10 and 10 on the seventh screen.
Raj, Zubac is not better than Chet Holmgren. Drug test this man. What is wrong with you?
Mike, let me ask you a question, Mike.
I'm listening.
Let me ask you a question. If you had to build a team right now, right? I'm talking about right this second, and you said, all right, I got all the pieces I need. Now I need a center. Are you going to roll with Holmgren, or are you going to roll with Zubac when you need a center? I'm talking about you need a center.
Is that a real
boy like KD?
You need a real question.
But here's the thing.
You got all your pieces.
Here's the thing.
I'm about to sweat again.
When you look at the perplexity of how the league is now, if you're talking 10, 15 years ago, a traditional center is Zubac. But now they're not like that. There's no way Zubac is holding Nikola Jokic. There's no way Zubac
So
Victor Wembanyama. There's no
so Chet Holmgren is?
But we've seen Chet go head up with Wemby and Joker already.
But
he got cooked.
I don't think I've seen Zubac.
Go look at the numbers. He got cooked.
But
Zubac got cooked.
Holmgren is.
But Zubac got the width. He got the strength. Chet is too light in the wind. Chet weighs 110, 210. Chet weighs 210 pounds. Now, has he got better skill sets? Of course, he can shoot, he can pass. You know, he's playing. He can play.
He's better, man.
I'm overall. Bro, if I'm looking for a center,
Raj, if the Clippers picked up the phone right now and called OKC and said, "Hey, we'll give y'all Zubac straight up for Chet Holmgren," OKC would hang the phone up in their face
and probably laugh first.
And laugh.
But see, y'all look at.
Hold on. Yeah. But if OKC called the Clippers and said, "We'll give you Chet Holmgren for Zubac straight up right now," I think that the Clippers would hang the phone up and laugh because they would say that you got to be fucking kidding me. Is somebody trying to prank us right now?
See, y'all looking at you guys are looking at the skills. You're not looking at the actual fit. See, I'm looking at the actual fit. Okay, so I'm looking at how would he fit as a center, not a specialty power forward that's masquerading as a center. because when it comes down to the playoffs, he can't go up against the centers that weigh over 230 pounds. Like he can't go up against the Jokic in the paint. He can't go up against the centers like Nurkic. He can't go up against the centers like who else is in the West that's a big center? Like even DeAndre Ayton. He can't go up against those guys. They weigh too much. He'll get pushed around. Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape of Chet playing defense. That dude is horrible on the defense, bro. I'm not saying he's not skilled. He's very skilled. He can shoot threes, but he's more of a KD than he's a more of a traditional center. But if I'm looking for a traditional center that can set a screen and can give me some type of pick and roll action, then I'm rolling with Zubac. I'm not going to look for a pick and pop guy that weighs 150 pounds that can get pushed in the paint during the playoffs. If that's the case, then sign that kid from the Cleveland Cavaliers that never get picked up. That skinny kid with the dreads. What's his name again?
What? Who? Garland?
No. He's like off and on the roster in Cleveland. Damn, I can't remember his name. But he's more like a Chet Holmgren. That
you
dude is more
off
like
and on the roster in Cleveland.
Yeah. He got drafted to Cleveland, but they was playing him. Oh man, I can't remember his name. He's like prime example would be someone like a Brandon Ingram. He's like a Brandon Ingram type player. That's what Chet Holmgren is. Would you want Brandon Ingram to play center?
Yeah. Why? How do we get here? Brandon Ingram playing center?
That's my point.
How do we get here? What's going on now?
How much
I'm done, man. I'm done. I just don't know. I'm so in awe right now. I'm literally sitting up here having to argue.
Look, 207 pounds, bro. I'm 205.
How many blocks did he get in this year in the NBA? How many blocks?
It's not enough when it comes down to playoffs. I'm trying to tell you, all they got to do is back this dude down. He's falling. He's 207 pounds, and that's probably generous. I'm 5'11", 205.
Yeah, maybe, but even still, you gotta look at it from all sides and where the league is today. Like, how many centers outside of Embiid are down there like that? And even Embiid is on the outside a bunch.
There's one that gives him fits every single time they play him. His name is the Joker. Nikola Jokic. That dude gives them fits. That's why they be winning so many damn games, because he can go down the paint and bully their ass, and then he goes out to the three-point line, hits threes, and then he can pass the ball out of situations too. That's why he's such a threat. That's why he's a two-time MVP. Should have been 3, but that's why he's a multiple-time MVP, because he could do everything, and he got the width. He got the weight. So when players like Nurkic or your DeAndre Aytons and those type of centers of the world, or even Karl Anthony Towns, like you get those type of centers or power forwards that are heavy, and when it comes down to playoff basketball versus regular season basketball, right, where they can back you down and slow the game down and get some buckets, I'd rather have a center that can take the blows than versus somebody that's like just out here just being a light in the wind.
I'd rather have a center that's gonna motherfucking produce, because big centers can't take blows just as well. We see Embiid talking about he's not playing back to backs and shit. Take the bowls.
That's because he got knee problems. He's been dealing with that since college.
Some of it has to do with style of play with a lot of these bigs too. They try to go to the lane, Euro stepping like they Manu Ginobili, and you fucking 7'1",
and that's
damn 300 pounds and shit.
That's like, a lot of extra.
It's a lot of
for a center.
It's too much. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying that I feel like they need to get back to the traditional style of post up, and that I think that we see a lot more centers start to, not have so many injuries and stuff the way that we do. I think it's the way that they play nowadays that kind of attributes to some of the injuries, just in my opinion. But
so you telling me Chet Holmgren can go up against this dude?
Zach Edey?
That's why I picked him up, because he's 7'3" and he weighs 306 pounds.
Man, it's all about whether you produce. If your boy Zubac was everything you saying he is, then the Clippers would be going to the Western Conference Finals, and we would be sitting here saying, man, they would be there if Kawhi was healthy. We would be there if Kawhi was healthy. Zubac just missing Kawhi. But we not saying that. We saying that all of them are missing
But they're missing both of their pieces. They missed both of their pieces during the playoffs. They wrapped them up.
Yeah, they missed Paul George too, but I think we all can agree that the main ingredient here is Kawhi. And the bill proves it. He's the main ingredient. Paul George is some extra sauce. But the way that team was built, if you get a healthy Kawhi in there, you know what I'm saying, I think that they still threaten to win the title even with Paul George going down.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that. It could go either way. But there's one thing we'll never know.
16-8 last playoffs. I know what I'm talking about, man.
Who, Chet?
No, Zubac. He was 16 points and 9 rebounds. Excuse me, 9 rebounds a game.
I didn't say Zubac was a bum. He's just not better than Chet Holmgren, man. Chet Holmgren's ceiling is all-star. Zubac has already reached his.
He's reached his ceiling, so to speak. But before we get off here, I definitely want to at least get to tomorrow's games. But first, I want to talk about, and we know it's preseason, but from the naked eye, what were y'all thoughts on what you've seen from Bronny so far?
He a project player, you know. I ain't gonna try to drag him. I ain't gonna praise him. I think he showed up real good in that last game. What did he have? 17 points, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, I think a block or something.
He played pretty good in that game. Other games he stunk, but he's young. He didn't have a lot of collegiate play from his ailment issues that he went through. Praise the Lord that he made it through that. But I feel like me personally, I felt like he should have stayed and got more seasoning under him. Put together a full college season. But at the same time, I also understand, what the objective and the goal was with him and his father and whatnot, and things went the way that they went. So now, we just gotta watch him grow. I think he'll grow over time. He'll continue to grow and get better, and I think he's gonna be a very serviceable player at some point.
What do you think, Raj?
As far as the preseason go, I mean, we pretty much seen the same type of game in during summer league. I think that he's like, R&B was saying, he's a project player. He's probably going to be somebody that's going to eventually become something good. But at this point, they're just trying to make history with both of them being on the court in the regular season. And I think that's great because I don't know if you guys heard, Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. is going to be in the audience game 1 tomorrow. I think he played tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
To see Bronny and LeBron be on the court together, which I think is super dope, especially for the culture of sports. But I think he got potential, but we don't expect him to light it up. But I will say this: watch out for Dalton Connects.
Yes, sir.
Watch out for that dude. He's a problem. And on top of that, he fits perfect with the Lakers. Lakers need somebody that can play, that can shoot, that can open up the floor for LeBron to get down the lane, or open up the floor for AD to get down the lane. And he fits it. And in fact, I'm glad they oh, come on, another injury. I can't do this, bro. I can't.
Well, he looked like he was hurt on the last time he caught it, but he ain't getting up.
Who was that? Mike Evans?
Yes. Can't, bro. I really can't. And he's holding his hamstring.
Yeah, that shit don't look good. He wobbling around.
It looks real bad. Real bad. Oh my goodness, man.
You can see when he hit the ground, the way he went right to that hammy.
Yeah, even before he tackled him, he felt it.
And they started out looking good. This might fuck my prediction. Damn it.
Anyway, that just threw me off, guys. These damn injuries are piling up. Yeah, but to I know I went all the way around the block talking about Dalton Connects, but I was trying to bring the story together with the topic. Yeah, but I think it's going to be good for the Lakers to have them both on the team, both of those rooks, and on top of that, it's also going to give LeBron the opportunity to make a championship run if they keep Dalton and develop in the right way. They might give him a run.
Mm-hmm.
I think he showed us, something that, like R&B said, he'll be a serviceable player. I foresee him once the regular season starts not being able to get to the basket with so much ease, because these guys aren't really playing. I'm not going to take away from what.
I don't know, Mike.
He might make Austin Reeves expendable now.
Yeah, I think Austin Reeves out the way. And I'm not trying to disrespect what you're saying, Mike, as far as like people not playing hard defense, but I watched this dude all through college. He's the truth. He can get to the rim.
I'm not saying he can't. I just foresee it being a little different for him. That's all. A little different. I think.
Go ahead.
All right, that's a good sign. He walking off.
I think he'll also, I think he'll be a pretty good shooter, as well. I'm not taking away from him. He might do, he might do more than we're even saying. He might do less. But I think, like we said, the big thing was getting to play with his dad. We know what this is all about. And we know the Lakers only drafted him so LeBron ultimately didn't leave. It's got to call it this.
Yeah. Exactly. We was told that if he didn't play in Los Angeles, he was going to play in Phoenix, or he was going to play overseas in Australia. I'm like, come on, stop.
So we'll see how that goes. But as for tomorrow, hold on. Tomorrow it is the Knicks and the Celtics at 7:30 on TNT. Who y'all got in this game?
I'm thinking upset. I'm thinking the Knicks are going to win.
So they ruin ring night.
You think the Knicks?
I know it's a tall task, but I think they can do it.
Well,
I think we can do it.
Well, I'm gonna say that that I agree with you. The Knicks, the ring night is special. You're happy about getting your rings and things of that nature. But I think the Knicks are gonna want to make a statement. Because we had the conversation about Cat, but you got to keep it where from what we see on paper. Ooh, dang! On paper, trading for Cat, that's a move you make because you're trying to elevate your team, right? You're trying to say that we need to make a move to be better.
Right.
All right. You traded DiVincenzo. That I felt was a mistake.
Horrible mistake.
But Randall was expendable, right? Between the injuries or not always having availability and the up and downs in his play. But a player like Cat, you make this move because you think he's the difference maker. I think they want to come out and make that statement, and I think they win. I think it's gonna be a nice, high-paced, back-and-forth game. Should be very entertaining, in my opinion.
They play in Boston, right?
Ring night should.
Night
will be at home.
Should be home.
I got Boston.
Yeah,
I got Boston coming out and laying the hammer to him. I think Tatum. The reason why I'm picking Boston is because I'm picking off of what I think should happen. I think Tatum should come out and annihilate the league this year. He should come out and just straight kill, because that shit that happened with the Olympics,
that was crazy.
he should come out and straight annihilate. As a champion coming out on ring night, they should be looking to make a statement.
You're right.
I think that this got to be one of the most disrespected championship teams we've seen. Jaylen Brown didn't even get a nod for the Olympics, and then Tatum. And then this is the crazy part about it. You don't give Jaylen Brown a nod, and then when Kawhi Leonard they decide to not let him play or whatever, you replace him with Derek White.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You look at Boston and you say, well, fuck it, Derek White. No disrespect to Derek White, but over the Finals MVP. We know that Tatum is coined as their best player or whatever, but me personally, I think it's Jaylen. But still, Derek White over the Finals MVP. Like they should feel disrespected, and then Tatum goes and virtually is a non-play. So yeah, they should definitely feel disrespected and come out and set the league on fire this year in an attempt to defend their title.
I got that date marked down for the Golden State Warriors versus the Boston Celtics. Woo! Oh man!
Hey, you want to know something crazy?
Yeah.
I personally do not think that Golden State is going to be as bad as everyone was thinking.
Oh no, they got a squad. They low key got a squad. I feel like with the addition of with Buddy Hield, and they got this kid Linders, I think his name is. He's nice, and they're fit. They're fit to actually become a run and gun team like they did when they first made their championship run, because they got like the speed. You know what I'm saying? Like this, they play. I watched them all preseason. They haven't lost a game.
And Moses Moody, Mike, he signed the deal today too. I don't know if you've seen that. I think they gave him a 3-year or 4-year deal.
Yep.
Yeah,
they changed Jonathan Kuminga's role, which I love. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And I think a lot of people didn't even realize that Jonathan Kuminga averaged over 20 points last year.
He sure did.
If you can get him in the full swing of things, which he said personally himself that he feels like he can be a version of a Kawhi Leonard, and it was another two-way player that he named. If he putting that pressure on himself and he feel like he can be that good, I mean, he already spoke up for himself once, and look what happened. You know what I'm saying? When he felt like Steve Kerr wasn't utilizing him right and playing him enough, and he spoke up, and things changed. So,
another thing that makes it so great this season, and I know it's bad because we're used to the storylines and stuff. The Splash Brothers are broke up. Like, we don't got to worry about the storyline with Klay Thompson, how bad he's shooting and stuff. Like, all that stuff is lifted off their shoulders. Even Draymond Green is playing better. Like, I know it's preseason, but I'm saying as far as like the attention is focused on winning. It's not focused on are they going to break the team up and all this stuff. Like, it's straight basketball.
Get Klay going.
Yep. So I think
can they get him
going? Playoff with it. I think they're going to make a deep run. If everybody stays healthy.
Well, we already know that Klay Thompson and Draymond have been chirping at one another. Draymond saying he's gonna run right through his chest, and Klay's pretty much telling him to bring it on. I think it makes for good. I think it makes for good competition. I think it makes for an interesting season. And Dallas, the Mavericks are another team that I feel are kind of in that same boat. They tasted the NBA Finals. No one expected them to get there, but they did it. And you add Klay Thompson because you believe in your team. You just think that, I said it before, Klay Thompson can mean to Dallas this season what Ray Allen meant to the Heat when he went there to win that championship.
Yeah.
He should. No.
He should, but I don't think he will.
No. I like where you going with it, Mike. Don't get me wrong. I like where you going with it. The difference is that Ray Allen, for one, hadn't had that crazy injury that Klay Thompson had. Ray Allen still had a lot left in the tank. That's not to say that Klay don't have nothing left in the tank, but what Dallas wants him to come there and do, which is spread the floor and be an open shooter for Kyrie and Luka to be able to kick to, he that was pretty much what he was still relegated to doing in Golden State, and he wasn't doing it successfully. He wasn't doing it at a Klay-like rate, because this the bad knock on Klay. The last couple seasons, his numbers have not been horrible. We just looking at it as horrible because of what we were accustomed to seeing him do prior to his injury. If you take his numbers and if you take Klay Thompson away from it, you would say that he was probably a pretty serviceable, good role player. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. But the fact that it's Klay Thompson and he's done what he's done in the past, that the name accounts for the money that the production is not matching up to.
Well, people, and I know you guys don't look at it like this, or myself, but what people don't understand is when you come back from catastrophic injuries, you're not the same player, right?
No.
You're not. Even if you come back, you look at Kevin Durant with the Achilles injury, right? He came back, he still is KD, but me looking from the naked eye, being a sports fan and a sports guy, he's lost a little bit of a step. It hasn't affected his play, but just some of the things he does is a little slower, a little different. He makes different selections.
He's also getting older too, though. KD is in our age bracket, so
he's in his mid-30s, late 30s.
Well, that's just like when I tell people, I always like to use Allen Iverson. He's the key person, because people around the time, when he went to Denver, even, he kind of changed the way he played the game, right? You notice he wasn't doing all the crazy crossovers, and he had to change his game. He's getting older, and he could still get to the basket and make plays, but he became more of an outside shooter. Because
you said Allen Iverson,
right? I'm saying.
When he went to Denver,
that's when he started peeling back and started changing his game. Because 01 Iverson, 02 Iverson was a different monster.
Yeah,
as he got
totally different teams.
Right, but even still,
he was carrying a bunch of scraps.
Literally. But as you get older, you have to change your game, right? And when you have those catastrophic injuries, people act like Klay Thompson didn't miss 2 years. This man missed 2 full seasons, and expected the same speed, expected him to come back and do the same shooting, the same but defense. He's gonna lose steps. That's just comes with the territory.
Hey, but Mike, listen though, you right. But this the thing about it. Business doesn't care about that. Business is business, and at the end of the day, just like you saying, the fans and stuff, Golden State, the Golden State, the higher ups, the owners, and all of that, they expected it too, because you got to give your word that you believe that you can get back to being the same person, and they gave you your chance and time to do that, and it did not happen. But Clay still expected to be paid accordingly, and those two things just don't match. So that's why I said business don't care about that. Business don't care that you was out for 2 seasons. We want you to be back to the high level player that you were, that was helping us win championships. And if you can no longer do that, like Steph Curry has continued to do it, then we're gonna have to part ways and get younger. And that's what they did.
Well, I've always said that all these sports businesses and our sports organizations, they're business first. Yep. You know, we can't act like they don't have buildings with executives and make meetings, and there's a business aspect to everything, right? Excuse me, my throat's dry. There's a business aspect to everything, and if you're not meeting the business aspect or the business standard, we gotta go to where it's going to be met. So now you're not wrong in what you're saying, but maybe now that he has moved, Dallas.
Oh, come on!
Won't expect that same deal from him in a sense, or that same stuff.
I'll tell you this: so far in the preseason, he ain't been looking like what Ray Allen came to Miami to do. When Ray Allen went to Miami, he still was fucking Ray Allen to the point to where you knew he was going to still produce, but also he was going to knock down open shots. I'm not saying Clay don't knock down open shots, but it's just not at the level that he once did. He it's not at that level. I just don't agree with that analogy. I felt like when Ray Allen went to Miami, it just bolstered the cup runneth over even more. With Clay, it's a hope and a wish and a prayer with Dallas. They hoping that he can get them something from the outside, because they ain't had much to believe in from there, but outside of Kyrie and Luka.
Absolutely. So, and then the other game, I think it's the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Who you guys got in that game tomorrow night? Lakers are at home.
I'm gonna roll with the Timberwolves. And the reason why I'm saying is because I feel like they got better shooters.
Is Julius Randle playing?
Is he? I don't know.
Let's see if I can find it.
I think he's questioned. I think he's on question. But I know what's name's playing. DiVincenzo's playing. I know what's name's going to be playing his heart out because of what he did in the Olympics. Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man's going to go off, and I feel like they're going to be lifted a little bit more because they don't have Cat on the team anymore. They don't got Karl-Anthony Towns, so they're going to feel like they can spread the ball out. They feel like they could probably get some more shots. So there's going to be extra shots shared around because you don't have a power forward that's taking majority of the shots. So I feel like, just my prediction, I feel like the Lakers could give them a run for their money, but it's going to take time for them to build that run that they had last season. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron probably is going to play 25 minutes tomorrow. AD, you know what AD stand for? Always dinged.
Always dinged.
So AD's not going to play a lot. I think Baker threw his second interception, by the way.
Yeah, he did that.
Trash. Like, you can count on him to fall out. But anyway, another injury. But yeah, so I feel like it's gonna take time for Los Angeles Lakers to build back up. And by the way, they didn't bring in new pieces in. That's another thing the Lakers didn't do. They didn't outside of the draft. They didn't bring in no free agents, no high-profile free agents. Like everyone's looking for
No, they didn't.
Zach LaVine to be on the team. They was looking for at least somebody like Brandon Ingram.
They swung and missed on a lot of shit.
Man.
They tried that Dallas Cowboys thing because the Cowboys did the same thing. They ain't bring nobody in, and expect the result.
But at least
Dallas was.
You got to bring somebody in, bro. You're Los
Dallas
Angeles.
was being idiotic. Hey, you know what? I'm glad you said that, Mike, because that reminded me of something that I wanted to tell y'all last week when I missed the show. What Jerry Jones did this offseason with Dallas, not bringing in any talent, not going after Derrick Henry, not trying to sign Dak and sign CD earlier so that he would have more flexibility with cap space and cap room. I'm going out on the limb and I'm calling it. He did that shit on purpose as a fuck you and approve it to Dak Prescott.
Oh, I didn't really think of it like that, but you got a great point.
Because we all know that the number one thing that they always talk about with these quarterbacks is you got to try to win while it's cheaper. Now they've been paying Dak for a minute, but it gets more expensive, you know what I'm saying, over the years, the longer he's there, in order for you to pay him. So this was the one time that everybody was really thinking that this was going to be the end of Dak and the Cowboys, because nobody really thought Jerry was really going to actually pay him this time, that he was going to let him walk after this season. And there he goes out and he pays him. He pays. You have to know, as the GM, and this is the thing about it too, I've always said that I think that Jerry Jones over the years has always been a pretty good to solid GM. He's drafted well, he's developed talent, he's addressed holes here and there, on different Dallas teams. He's been a pretty good to solid GM. So you have to know that going into this thing, if you sign Dak and CD earlier, you have more money to be flexible in the free agency this past summer. And instead you let it play out for as long as you did before you signed them. And then you lost all of that flexibility to bring in any type of talent or anything like that. You didn't add to the receiving core to give any other weapons outside of CD Lamb. So it's almost like he's basically set this up to be this way as I told you so. This is why I didn't want to pay him.
That makes sense. It does it makes a lot of sense.
That's sad. That's sad, man.
Think about
it. He really don't want Dak there.
He paid him, but he only paid him because he knew he had to.
He had to pay him. Like, what are the options? But that I feel that same way though, R&B. I feel that same way. And I kind of questioned in the beginning. I'm like, damn, why are they not building around Dak? Like, why didn't they bring in Henry? Why didn't they do this and do that? Like, make moves on this? Because he's not really what he needs to be there. Like, they're probably gonna move him along after this season, because they're gonna blame Dak for everything. They're gonna say, "Oh,
how are you gonna move him along? Who's gonna take up that price tag?" You know what? You're right. You might be right. It might be some team out there willing to pay that type of money to bring him in and feel like they can build around him, because it's not like he a scrub.
Right. He's a mid quarterback in most people's eyes. But I will say this: what team will really pick him up and they'll roll with him, and they'll have no problem trading their quarterback? The team playing tonight, the Chargers. The Chargers would get rid of.
The Chargers would get rid of Justin Herbert. I don't think Harbaugh will.
Hell yeah!
I don't think Harbaugh will want that.
I
don't agree with that.
He might not.
I think Herbert fits more what Harbaugh does more than Dak Prescott.
Might be a better fit, but if we talking wins, if we're talking like a quarterback that can win or proven to win, it's got to be Dak. And I think that'll be perfect for Jerry. Jerry wants that type of prototypical quarterback to be his quarterback.
What has Dak done that Justin Herbert hasn't? Besides be longer tenured.
I think he had a better playoff run, didn't he? I think he played better in the playoffs.
Man, Justin Herbert, he ain't been to the playoffs that many times since he been with the Chargers, but the times that they did go to the playoffs, I don't think I've ever sat up and watched the game and said they lost this game because of Justin Herbert.
That's fair. But I feel like Jerry would pull the trigger if it was presented. I'm not saying that the Chargers will be okay with it. Like, they won't be 100%, but maybe they will. But I know if they told Jerry, listen, we got a quarterback for you. We got Justin Herbert. I guarantee you, before they finish the sentence, you're going to be like, yes, I'll take him. Because that's the prototypical quarterback he wants.
A white boy.
There you go. He'll take, you know who he will really take? He'll really love to take? Trevor Lawrence. That would be the perfect quarterback for him.
I think that he'll be desperate enough. I think Dak could possibly end up a Giant.
Yeah.
And I'll throw another one out there. Cleveland Brown.
Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Cleveland Brown.
I don't want to see him in the Browns.
I could see Jerry Jones making something happen with Cleveland and Dak. It might not be that bad. Kevin Stefanski is not a bad head coach. We just know that O-line been horrible and Deshaun Watson been horrible.
That's what I'm saying. And we know that's where quarterbacks die. They die in Cleveland.
He might. Well, Stefanski might not have a job after this season.
Nah, his job is done. They go to record. They keep this up. They're done. He's done.
Yeah, unfortunately, he gonna be a scapegoat, I think.
Yep.
Someone's got to be.
Yep.
Right. Well, gentlemen, we are now at the 2.5 hour mark. This was another great episode. So everyone in the audience who's still here might watch this back. We're gonna move the show to 6:30 on Mondays. That time seems a little more fitting, so we're gonna rock out with that. I was supposed to be on the radio tonight, but that didn't happen. That's not happening now. It got postponed to next week, but Honest Hour will be on tomorrow. I'll have a stand-up comic on here with me, Steph Terrarin. I'll be interviewed on Urban Updates Wednesday, and I'll be on Honest Hour again Thursday. So, long week, but
grinding.
You know, trying to make something happen in this podcast world. Is there
Absolutely.
anything you guys want to add or anything that you want to cover before we get out of here? Not, the floor is you guys to close.
RB, you go first.
Hey, man, I just want to thank y'all for allowing me to grace the platform again. And I look forward to this new friendship and business ship that we're trying to venture off into with one another. And I do want to bring something else to the table.
Absolutely.
Man,
go for it.
When we have a meeting, we'll talk about it, man. But I love the camaraderie and the energy between all of us when we get on here and chat, man. It's very fun. You guys are very likable guys, man. Good personalities. We need to tap into more than sports, man. We might need to start linking up at night on here and having some other subject conversations as well, man.
I agree.
Just a thought. Just a thought.
Yeah, I'm with it. My music show's premiering next week. So that's another platform that's really I kind of want to do two things with that. Is the first thing would be a regular music show. So like a guy I know is dropping an EP. I'm gonna listen to his EP. We're gonna talk about it, right? That's the basis of the show. But I also want to have episodes where we talk about other things, right? So, like, for example, my buddy Will wants to come on and talk because he's as I like to say, a Kendrick cocksucker.
Hey, whoa.
Yeah, that song pisses me off. I hear it, I just want to throw it out the window. Like Kendrick, I put Kendrick Lamar fans, Dallas Cowboy fans, Cody Road fans, and Trump supporters all together. They're some of the most annoying people on God's green earth.
That's too much, man.
Right,
for one of you go put Trump supporters in there, then you damn sure got to put Kamala Harris supporters in there too,
right?
It's just as equal. It's just as equal.
Yes. Annoying. And girls that be asking money in their Cash App, throw them in there too.
Personally, I'm not for her either. But I think for me, when we're looking at the Trump supporters, they're more obnoxious to me. This is just my opinion. Like I said, I haven't heard much from people who like Kamala Harris. Honestly, there's not many people that I personally know that do like her. My whole feed is Trump. And guess what else? A little more Trump.
I'll put it to you this way. The Kamala Harris supporters, they're like Jehovah's Witnesses. They'll be at your door every 5 minutes. Shout out to the Jehovah's Witnesses, though.
Yeah, that's something on the horizon.
That's because who they targeting. That's a conversation for a different.
Yeah, that's
day.
That's a whole nother show. We'll do that. We'll definitely.
We'll tap in. That. That's definitely a good idea. We got to set up that time to talk because we didn't get to do it last week.
Yeah.
So yep. So all right, definitely. And Raj, it's on you, bro.
Yeah, no, just appreciate everybody, listening to the show. Once again, we'll be back here next week, 6:30. Make sure you guys tap in. That's it, man. Just appreciate everybody.
All right, guys, y'all have a good night, and we will see y'all on the flip side. Peace.
Deuces.
And then boom. See, now when we're done, well, he left already, but now we can sit back here backstage, still talk. Oh, wait. Nope, I think we're still on. There we go.